Hey guys, Kimmy Vapes here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Sigelei Sobra kit. So let's have a vape, go down below, and see what comes with it. Okay, and here we have the Sigelei Sobra kit. This product was sent over to me for the purpose of this review by Sigelei. So inside this Sobra kit, you're going to get the Sobra mod and the MoonShot 120 tank. Let's go ahead and open up the box and see what comes with this kit. Okay, so when you open up the box, the first thing you're going to see is your Sigelei Sobra Kit user manual, MoonShot 120 tank manual, warranty card, a instruction booklet for how to check the security code, a user diagram for the tank. You're going to have the mod, the tank, spare glass and O-rings, and a spare coil head. And then in this box over here, you're going to have your USB update and charging cable. So let's go ahead and take a look at the MoonShot 120 tank first. Now the color combination that I received this in is the serpentine yellow. They also have other variations of this cobra snake pattern, as well as solid coloring as well. So let's go ahead and go over the specs real quick of the tank. Now the non-TPD compliant tank has a 5.5 capacity with the bubble glass. Its height is 44 millimeters and the diameter is 24 millimeters. It is a top fill style. Here, if we remove this plastic or Ultim top cap here, you can see your fill port, and it has this very large silicone gasket covering the entire top, and that is a top cap and mouthpiece all in one. Looking at the base, you have dual slotted airflow, so you have an airflow slot on each side. The airflow is on a stopper, and whatever you do to one side, it will do to the other side. To install your coil, you'll simply unscrew the base counterclockwise, and there it will expose the coil head. Now the coil head that comes pre-installed in your tank is going to just be a regular round wire coil head. And the coil head here is rated 60 to 120 watts, and I don't see any material listing on there. So taking a look at it without the coil head install, you can see the chimney section there at the top, and then here is your base where you would install your coil head. And here's your second coil head. This one is rated 40 to 80 watts, and it's rated at 0.25 ohms. And again, it's another single round wire coil head. So the coil head that I'm installing is the what they call the M coil head, and that is the 0.25 rated 40 to 80 watts. One thing that I forgot to mention with the accessories for the MoonShot 120 tank is they also include spare contact pins, which is a first. I've never seen a company include spare contact pins for their sub-ohm tanks before. Now, I'm not sure if that is because it offers the ability to use other coil heads from other companies, or if they're just including them in case for some reason your contact pin needs replaced. I'll have to look more into that. Just briefly looking on their website, I don't see any information explaining why they include those spare contact pins. So the e-liquid that I'll be using today in this sub-ohm tank is Prohibition Juice Co. Syntax, which is a peanut butter custard. First thing we'll do is prime our coil head. So once I've made sure to saturate that coil head, I'll go ahead and assemble the tank. Once I've made sure my tank's assembled securely, I'll remove that top piece. And when I fill this tank, I want you to go ahead and pay attention to the tiny little membrane there. That when I fill my tank, there's actually a membrane that the tip of the bottle pierces while I'm filling it. And again, this is a 5.5 ml capacity tank, so it holds a lot of e-liquid. And then if you can see there, that membrane closes shut, and now I can actually tip the tank upside down and shake it, move it around, and there's no leaking even without the presence of that top cap. So I can go ahead and secure my top cap slash drip tip back down. And there's the MoonShot 120. All right, let's go ahead and go over the Sobra mod. Now the mod measures 88.9 millimeters in height, 55.4 millimeters in width, and 39.5 millimeters in depth. Now, when you take into account the footprint for the 510 pin there, the 510 plate at the top, you're actually not going to be able to fit any atomizer on this mod above 24 millimeters without overhang, and that is because of the curvature all the way around the top of the mod. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at this mod to use with other atomizers. You want to stay within the 24 millimeter or smaller atomizer if you don't like overhang. So here is the back of the mod. You can see there are two little cutouts here for eyes, and that is what mimics the Cobra look, which is what this is designed after. And those are LED lights, and if you flip it over here, you can see the 1.3 TFT color screen. And down here at the bottom, you have your USB port for charging and upgrading. Now, Sigelei's website does say that this mod is upgradable so that you can run it at 230 watts. Out of box, this mod's watt range is 10 to 198 watts. On the side here, you have a fire button, which is slightly protruding. It almost sits flush. It does have a fairly clicky response there. A little bit of wiggle in the button, but no rattle when I shake the mod. You're going to insert your dual 18650 batteries from the bottom. Here you can see this is not spring-loaded. There's a little hinged battery door, and you do have a positive and negative marking, although it is in black, so it's difficult to see. Let's go ahead and install some batteries. So I'm going to do positive up on this side, negative there. Press down and slide back to close it. And automatically you'll see your screen. Booting up, it automatically sets at 40 watts. Here you can see we have the 0.25 ohm coil head. 3.19 volt to read out there. At the top you have two battery bar indicators. There you see the H, and that's going to be for your normal, high, and soft setting for your wattage. And then, of course, wattage, and below that you're going to have your puff counter. To go into your menu, 3 clicks. Then you have your mode, and right here, very difficult to see because of the patterning, but you have your up and your down button here. So there's your wattage up and your wattage down. This mod does adjust in 0.1 watt increments. Back into the menu. And we can select mode. And that's going to be your power, stainless steel, titanium, nichrome, and TCR. So you have both power and temperature control. Back in there, we can go to the screen. Now you do have an option for 2 different screens, as well as you can also control the brightness. Go into there. We can go all the way up. That's at 40, 80, and 100%. So really nice, vibrant, bright color screen. 1, 2, 3. And we can go to set. And you can set your power saving, your puff counter, your preheat. Let's go to preheat, and let's put that on normal. So now that H changes to an N. 1, 2, 3. Let's go down, and then the last option is exit. So there's the menu system of the Sobra kit. Let's go back up top, have a vape on it, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. All right, and that was the up and close look at the Sigelei Sobra kit. So what are my thoughts? Well, let's go over the tank first, the MoonShot 120 tank. So I do have some cons about it. Let's go over the pros first. Pros are going to be the usual, the fit, the finish, all of the accessories that they do include with it. The coil heads are lasting me quite a long time. Very good quality coil heads. I do notice break-in time with these coil heads. I would say probably for the first tank, I get a little bit of an off tank. off flavor, and I would say that that off flavor is most likely the cotton breaking in, and I find that a lot with sub-ohm tanks, that I have a little bit of a break-in time. So for a couple mils here, you're gonna have a break-in time and you're gonna have a little bit of an off taste. Once that coil head breaks in though, the flavor on this is really good, and of course the juice capacity on the tank is really good as well, so you're not going to be constantly filling your tank like you would smaller 2 ml capacity tanks. So big pro on that, pro on the accessories, pro on the fit and finish of it. Now let's talk about my cons. So the one con that I have for this tank is going to be that top cap. The all-in-one drip tip / top cap piece section I don't like. That's a personal preference, but I feel like everybody should have the ability to use a drip tip that's most comfortable to them. It makes it much easier for them to adapt to a tank or like a tank when they can use a drip tip that's more comfortable. So the fact that the top piece on here is a drip tip and top piece all in one, and you cannot put your own drip tip, is a con for me. Now let's go into the mod. So as far as the mod goes, the fit and finish, again, everything about the mod as far as fit and finish wise, everything is good. No defects, no problems. Battery door works great. I like the up and the down button actually being above and below each other. I wish a lot more mods did that with their chipsets. And then of course it is USB charging and USB upgradable, which is always great. The screen is quite bright and easy to read. Now I'm not a big fan of the snake design in the back. However, I do understand that this whole kit, this whole mod was designed with Sobra in it to mimic the look of a cobra. So I'm not a big fan of the design. Let's get that right out of the, right out of the way. I do not like this color, and I do not like the design of it being mimicked after a snake. I find for people, when you're trying to find a mod that you like visually, that's going to limit a lot of people just by the look of it. So I like mods to be more universal looking and more, I'm just a slim and sleek, no frills kind of girl. But that's personal preference, and I'm not going to give it a con for that, although I don't like it. The menu is very intuitive. Another thing that I really like that the Mfang did not have is that this has 2 battery indicators as well as a percentage. So big pro for that. Everything about the screen, everything about the way it works, it's intuitive, very easy to navigate the screen. All of that is great. I just don't particularly like the look of it, but I know a lot of you guys out there do like it, and that's why it's not a con. So really, that's all I have to say about the mod. I don't really have any cons, just subjective cons like the design. It is all made of plastic. That is another thing I do want to note. It is made completely of plastic as far as the outside housing. So when it comes to dropping this, it may not stand up over time to being dropped, just depending on the type of plastic. Not all plastic is fragile. So that's another subjective con, that some of you might find you don't like mods made of plastic, and this one is entirely made out of plastic on the outside. So that's my thoughts on the Sigelei Sobra kit. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, click that subscribe button. If you are subscribed, don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you get notified the next time I upload a video. Thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.